This British Patel, Spreadsheets and Charts unit. Data number 11020141. Please keep audio enabled throughout the whole video, and hope you enjoy my assignment. Data table, you simply highlight all the data that you should have split, go in the View tab, hit Split, and this will split your table across. Notice that the A tab won't be split, and you can horizontally move your columns, and the A tab will not be interrupted. So if I had data over here, I could still see my A tab, making it a lot easier to see all my data corresponding to which A column. For Unit 2, I'm going to demonstrate how to fill in data series. It's quite a straightforward technique. You simply highlight the cell you wish to copy the data from. Now, this data already has the formula inserted, which is great. Now, you just simply go on the bottom little square there and you scroll that all the way across, and that will automatically fill in the rest of it. You can also do that the same. Since the formula for this, the VLOOKUP formula, has already been inserted for the value of the units to reflect upon the grade table, simply do the same and it'll come up accordingly. 3.1, I'm going to alter text alignment and orientation. Now, to do this, you simply click on the cell that you wish to amend. You go in the Home tab under the alignments. Now, you can amend it accordingly with the picture shown, and you can go up or down, left, right. Now, for orientation, you just simply click this button here, and you can use one of the options and you can format it across. Now, if you wish to angle it clockwise, counterclockwise, down, it works accordingly. 1.3.2, I'm going to demonstrate how to hide a column. To simply do this, I simply go in the H column, right click, go and hide, and will automatically hide it. To undo this, I can simply press undo, or I could right click it again and go on unhide, and it'll present all the data that I had at 0.3.3. I'm going to merge cells. To simply do this, I just highlight over all the cells that I wish to merge, simply go on the merge button up here, and I'll merge the whole cell into one for me. 0.4, I'm going to protect specified cells. To do this, I simply specify all the cells that I wish to have protected, right click on them, format cells, go on the protection tab, select locked, tick box, confirm OK, then go on the review tab, protect sheet, select lock cells and select unlock cells, press OK, and it'll simply lock everything, meaning that I cannot actually amend anything within those buttons, and my formulas cannot be amended either. For section 1.5, I'm going to use conditional formatting to make this text go red if the value is not met. In this case, my totals are not met with my monthly sales target. To do this, I simply go in conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, text that contains the word not will automatically be red. Now, as you can see here, it's already worked. Now, for example, let's say I lowered my target into 12,000, which is obviously past my amount of sales, then it will be met and the conditioning will wear off. So I'm going to create a pivot table to analyze data. To do this, I simply select all the cells that I wish to put into my table. Go on the Insert tab and go on the pivot table. Make sure the cells to the table or range is selected, and put it onto a new worksheet so you can manage your data a bit more efficiently. Press OK to continue, and you'll have the mainframe here. Simply put the months into the row tab, and then put January and all the rest of the values accordingly. Now, what this will do is this will create a pivot table for you, and you can then look at your data accordingly. So over here, I can see that the sum of February equated to that amount as a grand total, and my pivot table is now complete. 2.1 and 2.2, I'll be creating an if statement with brackets. Now, my if statements will be for my monthly sales target met. Target is 13,000, and the total that occurred in January was 12,792, which is actually not met. For me to do this, I need to create an if statement starting with equals if bracket, logical test will be that, and it'll have to be greater than that amount. Now, what that means is if it is greater and it is true, that means it is not met. If it's false, that means it is met. So over here, in the case in January, the target was not met, which has occurred correctly. 3. Create a lookup formula. What I wish for my lookup formula to do is when a value is inserted into the unit sold cell right here, I want that to correspond with this cell to then give me the name of the person it relates to. For example, if someone was to put the value 30 in, it should come up with Stephen, or 21, it should come up with Waltila. So to do that, all I simply need to do is go into the name cell, equal, lookup, bracket, so the lookup value will be from the unit sold, and then the lookup vector will be from the unit sold column right here. Then I need to insert another comma, and then the result I want will be from the first name column, and then I simply close my brackets. Now, let's say if I wanted one liter to come up, simply put in 21, and 1 liter comes 0.6. I'm looking to create links between different spreadsheets. So over here, I've got my two spreadsheets. One, which is my bank balance page, and two is my sales reps. Now, what I simply would like to do is maybe just hyperlink maybe this word January back into the bank balance, so then they could see the January figures. Just for me to simply do that, click on January, go on hyperlink. On the Insert Hyperlink tab, I just simply go and place in this document, and I want it going back to bank balance. Press OK, and now when anyone ever clicks that, it'll go straight into the bank balance. 3.1, I'll be creating a comparative chart, which would mean that I can get multiple data series and compare them across in one chart. Now what I do is I select first name all across down in that column, units sold all across down, and total sales. It's very important that you get the tiles as well, which will go into your graphs. Now if I go into insert, and I can just go on that and then go on a 2D column, it'll simply show me everything that I need to know. I can also amend the graphs as I wish. So let's say if I go for that chart instead. Now with that chart, it shows me the series I have. So the blue ones are units sold, so I can compare them across, as well as the total sales. 3.2, I'll be creating a stat chart, which is quite similar to what I did in 3.1. I will begin the same way as getting all the columns that I need necessary for my chart, and to make sure that I do include first name, units sold, and total sales to make sure that my series are labeled. I can simply go on recommended charts, and it'll be one of the options available, which is the third one down, which is called stacked columns. Now, stacked columns only displays 1 bar per person, but it has 2 bits of information. In this case, it will have the total sales in the orange as labeled in the series, and units sold in the blue as labeled. As you can see here, Gareth's done 98 in value for units sold, and £2,009 for total sales. For 3.3, I'm looking to create a combined chart using 2 different methods of displaying data. So in this case, I've only simply got a column chart, which as you can see, it displays my units sold as well as total sales. Now for me to get a different type of chart involved, I can simply select the units sold, which is the blue side, and then if I go into insert, go into, let's say, a scatter chart, and there we go. This has created kind of a scattered / line chart as well as a column chart, which makes it easier for me to display information. You can also do it via different methods, but I think the scatter chart looks quite neat. Right, what we're going to be doing in 3.4 is improving chart by changing its axes, altering date ranges, and unit intervals. Now, I'm going to start with intervals. Simply go in intervals, we simply go on the format axes, go into tick marks, and it'll give us interval between marks. We can simply arrange this to 2, 3, 4, or 5, and there can be a major inside, and this will change the intervals between my axes. Now, to also improve the data ranges, it's quite straightforward. So I simply go on format axes, and I can make the data range 2,500 maximum. I could have 5,000 if I found that more appropriate, or I could have maybe 2,000 if I found more appropriate, and it will just go over it. But 2,500 is fine for now. I can just hit reset on that. Now to do the last part of mine, and that's improving the changes axes, I can simply just right click the table, change the chart type, and I can have the secondary axis on the opposite side, which is displayed here, or I could have it across there, and this will change the axes around if I wish. I could also change it around manually as well, but that's the main way to do it. Point 5, I'm looking to add a trend line to my existing chart. For me to do this, I click on one of my series. In this case, I'll take my total sales, right click, and go and add trend line. Now a trend line swiftly appears, as you can see. This you can amend using the format trend line option. I can make it exponential, logarithmic, or polynomial, and I can amend it accordingly. And brilliant, that's all.